VectorPro training, the live test environment and test execute. Now that you've logged into VectorPro, had a chance to look around and created your first VectorPro test, let's look at how to execute the test and collect some test data. On the workspace, you'll notice that there are some tiles called All Tests and Results, as well as the dedicated tile for our newly created test. If we had some test data to review, we could use the Results tile to access the live test environment, but because we have yet to run our test, we'll use the Test tile to do this. First, let's have a look at the Test tile. You'll see that it has the photograph on it that we took when we created the test attributes, but also there are three icons on the left. These represent View Results, Edit Test, and Copy Test. The Copy Test icon is very useful where you have many tests to create that are very similar to each other, and by using it, it makes a direct copy of the test but without any test results, much like an Emperor library file. For now, we want to run the test, so click or touch anywhere on the test tile except on the three icons on the left. If you attempt to run a test without having a compatible test stand connected, then an error message will be displayed at the top of the display in a red box. If your test machine is connected properly, then we are now looking at the VectorPro live test environment where you can see lots of new features. Most of the display is used up with the test graph, although there is also a tab that allows you to view the test results only. Along the top of the screen, there are the usual icons to the left of the VectorPro logo, but on the right we can now see the test machine control buttons that allow you to start the test, stop the test, and pause the test. On the left, you can find the graph control icons. These allow you to change the graph axes, as well as turn data points on and off or turn the grid lines on and off, set the graph contrast, and change the color of grid lines. You can also zoom into the graph, reset the graph zoom, and pan the graph around. You can do this by clicking and holding the mouse button, or by using your finger on a touchscreen. At the top of the screen, where the two blue arrows are showing, your test sample's legend will be shown. On the right, there are some instant analysis controls that allow you to drop a label for a data point, print, email, copy, or store an image of the test graph, perform some instant calculations, offset your test samples on the graph in both X and Y directions, and view individual cycles in a cyclic test. Just to the right of the graph label icon, there is a small black arrow. This shows you a summary of the test results so you can have a combined graph and results view. Above the analysis control icons, we can see the test name, the test version, total number of samples tested so far, and coordinates of the cursor at its last known position. All of these controls and features will be explained in more depth in a future video, but for now, let's run the test and collect some data. Press the play icon at the top of the display. The test should start automatically. The graph is plotted in real time, and once the test is complete, you'll see a sample icon added at the top of the display between the two blue arrows. If you click or touch the sample icon, you'll see some more icons in a pop-up and functions that you can perform on the sample data. You can name the sample, change the color of the sample data on the graph, perform an individual offset for that sample, delete the sample, hide the sample from view, and unhide the sample. To collect more sample data, simply repeat the process. Once we have several samples worth of data, we'll move on to the next video and how to review your results. If you'd like to know more about the live environment, including the graph controls and the instant analysis tools, then yep, you guessed it, there's a video for that too. But for now, this concludes our video on how to execute your VectorPro test.